Good Will Hunting has a unique place in film history. It's a beloved classic precisely because it relies solely on its psychological themes. It doesn't need flashy lights or sword fights to be popular. It's loved because it demonstrates real change, not Disney film change or some Deus Ex Machina, but real human change. Change that resonates with people.
Today we'll look at Good Will Hunting, how real change comes about and how potential can become unleashed.
In Good Will Hunting, the main character, Will, comes off as a bit of a loser and kind of a dick.
How do you like them apples?
But beneath the surface, he's actually
Wicked smart.
able to solve genius-level maths equations and has the kindness, wit, and confidence to attract a beautiful Harvard student. The reason Will's best sides remain hidden and unfulfilled are because of his psychological blocks. From the blind rage following a brawl with one of his old bullies, Will ends up hitting a police officer, landing him with a jail sentence. Luckily for Will, a professor at MIT has noticed his genius abilities and offers him bail on the conditions that he helps him solve maths problems and also goes to see a therapist. With no better options, Will reluctantly agrees. In an attempt to avoid seeing a therapist, Will uses any means necessary to drive away each one he sees.
You're gay. What are you talking about? What?
This is successful for all but one. Shawn. Shawn is different because he's able to see beyond himself, even in the face of Will's personal attacks.
This is really nice. You got a thing for swans? Is this like a fetish? It's something like maybe we need to devote some time to.
Thought about what you said to me the other day about my painting. Stayed up half the night thinking about it. Something occurred to me. I fell into a deep, peaceful sleep and haven't thought about you since. You know what occurred to me?
He's then able to see that Will is just employing tactics, a front. That beneath it all, Will is just a
cocky, scared, shitless kid.
Through Shawn's eyes, we can see retrospectively that Will's arrogant, childish, and aggressive personality have all been driven by fear. More than that, Shawn points out that Will has been afraid to truly live, that he's been hiding behind his comfort zone. Shawn starts Will's journey of transformation by pointing out to him that his fear towards life has left him with a mediocre life, containing merely surface-level relationships, loser friends, and unfulfilling work. This is tragic because beneath the surface, Will deeply desires more. What has kept Will in this negative but supposedly safe comfort zone is trauma. There are hints throughout the film, but later we discover that Will has suffered abuse at the hands of his foster father that has left him physically and psychologically scarred.
Trauma has influenced Will's life because it creates the context of a person's life. It basically is negative memory. It helps us orientate towards the different things in life, how we're supposed to react to them, what our emotional reactions will be to them. Trauma exists for a reason. When something bad happens to us and we struggle to deal with that event, we store our idea of that event in our memory.
When something associated to that memory comes up again,
I'm also aware that you've been through several foster homes.
we feel similar feelings to the initial experience, with the purpose of avoiding that same experience happening again or worse,
regardless of whether that's helpful in achieving that aim or not. Tragically, this is why Will has avoided things that will help him have a better life, such as therapy. Trauma and memory don't only work specifically, but they work generally as well. They contribute in answering the larger questions of life, such as,
who am I? What is life like? And what are people like? Will's trauma has contributed to an idea in his mind that people are somewhat dangerous and that no one could love him for who he truly is. This has led Will to hide his vulnerability and to reject people before they have the opportunity to reject him. Unfortunately, Will's attempts to avoid getting hurt has left him truly lonely and continuously driven people away. Shawn got to Will because he broke this pattern. He did this by subverting Will's expectations. He saw through Will's external facade, pointed it out to him, but did not act against this more vulnerable side of him. This subversion creates an opening, a shift within Will. You could call this a breakthrough, or a mini breakthrough, because unfortunately it's not enough for him to give up putting on his facade. To Will, his trauma is still relevant, and thus still within his memory and affecting his life. But after seeing Shawn, the pressure on Will to leave his comfort zone begins to mount, because Will has become more aware of himself and of his own bullshit. Even though Will may seek to push away others and retreat backwards to a seemingly safer place,
I don't love you.
from the moment of his breakthrough, the disintegration of his limiting fears has become inevitable.
A breakthrough moment is extremely powerful because it snaps us out of the negative days we might have been in. It is a reference experience that will cause him to never truly go back.
Now spontaneously, and in each of their own way, everyone close to Will is also making it more and more uncomfortable for him to stay stagnant,
You take care.
backing his fearful self into a corner.
Look, you're my best friend, so don't take this the wrong way. But in 20 years, if you're still living here, coming over my house to watch the Patriots game, still working construction, I'll fucking kill you.
Once backed into a corner, the fearful reactions can become more intense. Luckily, a person like Shawn has enough awareness to see through Will's darkness, keeping his attention and value on the goodness that's deeper inside,
Don't fuck with me, all right? Don't fuck with me.
enough to negate any service level pushing away. Until Will can't keep himself and his pain hidden and separate any longer. And thus, Shawn is able to give the greatest act of love anyone could give. To see through someone's darkness and to love the deeper goodness that is inside of them. By vulnerably opening up to Shawn about his personal trauma, Will has given himself much needed space from that trauma. It is now depersonalized, objectified, and thus brought into the light. By gaining emotional space from the trauma and being comforted by Shawn, it allows Will the capacity to properly process the pain of the trauma and to thus let go of its grip hold on his attention, on the way he looks at life and people and himself, and thus to finally experience catharsis, the relief that comes from purging those negative emotions. This cathartic moment has now changed Will from the inside out. Now he's finally let go of his trauma. He's finally able to naturally and authentically take the next step forward and move on with his life. He is finally unleashed.
Will's story resonates with us deeply because it is a story of real human transformation and change. It's something that speaks to the inner potential within all of us that's waiting to be unburdened by trauma and to come alive. If you want real breakthroughs yourself, there's an option on my website to do a free coaching call, just a introduction to get us to know each other and then go from there. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you later. Bye.